where else can we go in the aerospace sector? Where is the most excitement being generated right now, and what's the biggest growth area? And the answer is unmanned aerial vehicles. So we're pioneers here in Oklahoma. We always have been, especially in this sector. So we're going to be pioneers in the UAV business as well.
We really are taking a statewide approach to the unmanned aerial systems. We get industry together with the military, with the economic development communities, and also with the commercial segment and the universities, and we bring them all together and focus on how can we best move the science, the technology, the education, and the industry forward in Oklahoma.
The aerospace industry in the state of Oklahoma is quite strong, and it's an important part of the economy in the state of Oklahoma, even though your average person on the streets might not realize it.
It's been something that, in my opinion, has caught the attention of the country because people are noticing that Oklahoma is working together. Industry, academia, and the state government are all working together as a team. Our state government has been incredibly responsive, and not only responsive but proactive.
What I think makes Oklahoma an emerging top player is the fact that we have the ability to test UAVs right now.
And that's why we've made such a big effort to provide those facilities.
One of the benefits about Oklahoma is that we have one of the only test ranges, if not the only test range in the United States, where you can come and fly without a certificate of authorization or a COA.
We have built 2 runways just outside of Fort Sill, and our aircraft can fly as soon as they take off. They're in Fort Sill military airspace, which we have an agreement to use. And the FAA doesn't have to be involved at all. We don't violate any rules, but we have the ability to test UAVs. We have a number of programs. Career Tech obviously can take somebody who was welding sheet metal and then help train them to be welding composites, for instance. We have universities that have added adult programs, so you can take somebody who's been involved in working for 10 years in their field and get them an advanced degree that broadens their horizons.
We have one of the first unmanned, in fact I think it is the first unmanned systems degree option at Oklahoma State University for both master's and PhD students in aerospace engineering.
We have had something called the Design, Build, Fly program. And this is where the students literally design unmanned aerial vehicles. Then they build them and fly them to do specific tasks.
The folks at OSU have told me that they immediately were receiving applications from all over. And so it's gained not only national attention, but international attention.
And it's out of a program like that that the kids emerge with all the hands-on skills to enable them to walk straight into positions in the unmanned aerial vehicle market.
You know, we've been involved in the traditional aerospace, airplane repair and other things for many years. But as they have miniaturized aircraft, the ability to have sensors and actuators in very, very smaller and smaller and smaller capability, that allows small businesses to be involved.
People think of a unmanned aerospace vehicle as just participating in building the vehicle itself. But there's a lot of other vital parts of that system.
We do UAS programs, one of our major products. We work on the Global Hawk, and the Global Hawk is a high-altitude surveillance airplane intended to replace the U-2, and we got involved in that program at the DARPA stage.
We have a very strong weather enterprise in Oklahoma. At the University of Oklahoma, some great capabilities in terms of radar research. A lot of companies that have spun out of the weather research that goes on there. We have a lot of sensor development in Oklahoma. These things all overlap with unmanned systems because we need new types of radar, new types of sensors, sense and avoid systems, things like that for unmanned systems.
A good portion of our business right now is designing instrument enclosure pods and building and fabricating those. We've done a number of different platforms for different companies, done either the aircraft structures or a redesign of the structure, just for a number of different companies that are in the UAV world, and slowly, I guess, snowballed.
We want to be the leader in our country. as a state that looks at the whole UAS industry, can help businesses succeed, can help the state move forward, and use our natural assets to do even better in that whole industry for our country. Well, you know, Oklahoma is kind of a well-placed secret around the country in terms of its aerospace background. I mean, Clyde Cessna flew his first airplane here in Oklahoma, in western Oklahoma, in about 1911. Wiley Post was known, you know, in the 1930s for setting all kinds of records, including solo around the world speed record.
Because of that history, Oklahomans have always been open to the development of the aerospace sector. And over the years, we have grown into one of the foremost regions in the nation, and in fact in the world, in maintenance, repair, and overhaul of aircraft.
Then when we move forward to the last 20 or 30 years, we end up with a vibrant commercial aerospace with American Airlines in Tulsa and many different companies around the state. And then we have the big military bases. We have certainly Tinker, which is the largest employer in the state with about 26,000 people, and continues to be at the forefront of our nation's defense, being the major depot for bombers, tankers, and all jet engine work.
We have something like, I think it's 500 companies associated with the aerospace business in Oklahoma here already, in one form or another. Now, this might be making small parts, small components. It could be making large components for those vehicles. That skill set is ready and available to be redirected into this market.
So when somebody wants to come in here with a new company, we want to know what they need ahead of time so we can start preparing people to work for them, because we can serve companies well if we can provide their workforce needs.
We face the same challenges as of everyone else in terms of getting the best and brightest, and we're doing really well in this industry in Oklahoma. We are getting the best and brightest. We're retaining the best and brightest in the state. We're also attracting from out of state. It's really interesting. If you look back, the closest analogy for this industry is the automotive industry 100 years ago. It was a cultural change. It created all sorts of manufacturing challenges, but it changed really society. It had very profound impact. And I think the same thing will happen with this industry as we begin to relax those regulatory restrictions.
Research is important because there are always new designs that we're looking for in the performance of unmanned aerial vehicles.
We have some of the leading researchers in Oklahoma and at our state universities that are involved in this field, very well known. So we're doing very, very well. The students that are coming out of some of these programs are going to a lot of really neat places right now. So I think we're out in the lead, in my opinion.
I would say that Oklahoma is a very business-friendly environment, a right-to-work state. We have great state incentives financially, where you can get money paid back to you for hiring Oklahoma folks here. You can get tax advantages. You can get the aerospace engineer tax credit, a whole lot of things that will provide you cash incentives to locate here and tax incentives to locate here.
Oklahoma is very small business supportive. It's very pro-business. A lot of incentives, a lot of support. Our state government actively helps small businesses. They're very, very helpful.
Quality of life here is very high. The kind of home that you can buy for your dollar, the quality of the schools, the environment for raising children, it is just wonderful. I've not quite come across anything quite like it.
And the key for us in Oklahoma is to get them here to visit. Because once they come here and they see how vibrant Oklahoma is, you know, Bricktown here in Oklahoma City, looking at what we're doing with the river and the whole boat area down there, looking at Tulsa and what a beautiful city that is.
It's the kind of place I would encourage any young professional who wants to get on within their career, create a career for themselves, and have a satisfactory home life at the same time. This is the place to be.
One of the things that really encourages me in Oklahoma is that we have a lot of people that are not looking out just for their self-interest. They're looking at this as a state. Let's make this a better place for everybody, and that's very, very encouraging. When we all work that way. When we all look at, let's make this a great state to work in, to live in, to have businesses in, to attract people, and let's do our best. When we produce something for the world, when we produce a product, or we provide a service, let's do the best we can. Let's make sure that it reflects very well in Oklahoma. So I think the ethos, the quality and standard of living, and just we just like the people. Put it that way. Yeah.
I just think the future is very bright for Oklahoma in the entire aerospace community. When you look at our emerging national leadership in UAVs, in sensors, in modernization, maintenance, repair, and overhaul, and in our state's approach to incentives for business, low cost of doing business, and preparing the workforce, I think this is a great state to be in for aerospace. I think a lot of businesses will continue to expand and locate here, and I think Oklahoma is going to be well known across the country and across the world as an aerospace fly-in state, not a fly-over state.